Hi, this is J.D. Ingram of the Charleston Pipe Band, and I want to welcome you to my series on how to be a great piper in 3 steps. As a refresher, here is the tree diagram for our 3 easy steps. Stay tuned as we dive into today's topic. Musical Expression Lesson 1. How to have musical expression using dots and cuts. So first off, let's talk about why dots and cuts are so important in your music. Expression in your music is what separates art from noise. It's really what makes music have emotion and the feeling of lift or drive or happiness or sadness. And using dots and cuts to their fullest extent is the easiest way to add musical expression to your playing on the bagpipes, since we don't have other tools available to us like crescendos, decrescendos, staccato, rests, etc. Some skills to talk about and work on are holding our dots longer than the extra 50% as prescribed by the musical classical definition, cutting the cuts as short as musically possible without causing issues, so those two are kind of corollaries to each other, and then knowing the exceptions or when to do this more or less based off of the context of the music. The drills we'll do are practicing a phrase that is in need of better expression, alternating playing the held note one whole extra beat and then playing it in normal time while trying to keep the ratio the same.
All right, so let's talk about what we're going to do in order to practice maximizing these dots and cuts. If you find a situation, a great example, I've been using Scott and the Brave, right? We start with A to Orlua to another A, and that A is dotted, and then you get a short B up to C. Right? A lot of beginners who are really struggling with a tune, you'll hear them go, right, and round that out, and it takes a little bit of lift out of the tune. So one thing you can do to practice in that situation is wait on that A, and then condense that down, trying to make the A to B ratio as close as possible. Try to keep that feel. It's especially noticeable if you're practicing it in Strat space. So common Strat space my band plays is or the bows to bell and dalek. Right? If you find yourself going, hold every single dotted note for 2 beats. Then, when you take that extra beat away, try to keep the ratio the same. Or you could speed it up slowly, more gradually over time if you're having trouble jumping from the 2 extra beats to 1 beat. But that just helps you really focus in on what that note is that needs that extra hold. So let's look at some drills on sheet music so we can practice putting it in context of just simple drills and practice our fingerwork.
Here is the sheet music for the drills that we will go over soon. As you can see, each phrase shows an even and then a dot cut and then an held dot and cut that we'll practice.
All right, so hopefully you screenshotted that or have gotten this sheet from me separately, but looking through it together, it just goes up the scale. So we're doing our runs, first 3 notes, and practicing it with a metronome. Here is 60 beats a minute. First bar, second bar, kind of get that maximum ratio. Third bar is that, but double time. Right, and you're going to try to keep that insane over-dot overcut ratio between. We do the same pattern from A to C. Right, and so this is good for any of your marches or anything where you find yourself kind of rounding out a dot cut eighth note pattern, trying to really lean in like you've got that double dot on the quarter note and double cut on the like in the first dot cut example. If you look down the page a little further, so we go all the way up the scale in triads or in threes for the first two lines. After that, I run us through common chord progressions. So if you'll notice the first bar of line 3, same rhythm pattern, but now we're going, which is a G major arpeggio. So we are going. And then we do the next 3 in the G major. Do the same pattern down. And then the next 3 down. Line 4 is the exact same pattern with our A major arpeggio. And that right there can help us with tunes like, I know a lot of people have trouble with Untitled Highlanders, second part. Right, that first dot, that C gets all kinds of sloppy in Untitled Highlanders. So if you've been told you've got crossing noises there, that you're overcutting, that you're rounding it out, this is a great line. Start right there, and you'll notice right below that, starting line 5, it's the B major, or B minor rather. And working our way through, we go on through C's, then the line 6 is the D major. And then we go through E and F, and that's it. So up and down the scale for each one. That finishes out the whole page. So that's the drill. If you're finding yourself being told you're rounding things out especially, great drill. If you're being told you're losing lift or losing expression, especially in competition style 2/4 marches or Strass bass, it's great for you. And this is just a good way to kind of mix up, especially after the first 2 lines, the third line down, to mix up some of that arpeggio navigation, since it can get boring just going. Right, so adding the dots and cuts in there combines our crossing noise exercises with our musical expression. Anyways, take in any part of this, all of it, use it as a drill, and hopefully we will hear you playing expressively and musically very soon.
Thanks for watching again this week, guys. As a reminder, we've been discussing of the 3 steps. Step 1, have good finger work. Part 3, play with musicality or musical expression. And of that, subsection 1, express your dots and cuts as long as possible and as short as possible. Thanks, guys. Take care.